Ever found yourself needing a substantial amount of cash, like right now, and wondered, how am I going to get that out of my Monzo account? It's a question that can cause a bit of panic, especially when you're dealing with larger sums. We've all been there. That sudden need for a significant cash withdrawal can feel a little daunting, particularly with the rise of digital banking and the decreasing use of physical cash. But don't worry, in this video, we're going to break down exactly how you can withdraw large amounts of cash from your Monzo account, covering everything you need to know, from daily limits to alternative options and some handy tips to make the process as smooth as possible. Now, before we dive into the specifics, let's address the elephant in the room. Why might you need a large amount of cash in the first place? While we live in an increasingly cashless society, there are still situations where cash is king. Perhaps you're making a significant purchase from a private seller, maybe you're dealing with a tradesperson who prefers cash payments, or perhaps you're traveling to a location where card payments are less common. Whatever the reason, the need for a large sum of cash can arise, and it's important to know how to access it from your Monzo account. One of the first things to understand is that Monzo, like most banks, has daily withdrawal limits. These limits are in place for security reasons, both for you and the bank. They help to prevent fraudulent activity and protect your funds. So, the first step is to check your Monzo app to see what your current daily ATM withdrawal limit is. This information is usually found in the account settings or help section of the app. Knowing your limit is crucial, as it will determine how much you can withdraw in a single day. Now, let's say the amount you need exceeds your daily limit. What are your options? Well, one option is to simply withdraw the maximum amount allowed each day over several days until you have the full amount you require. This is a straightforward approach, but it can be time-consuming, especially if you need the cash urgently. It also means multiple trips to the ATM, which might not be convenient. Another option, and often a more efficient one for larger sums, is to use a bank transfer to another account that might have a higher withdrawal limit or fewer restrictions on cash withdrawals. You can then withdraw the cash from that account. This might involve transferring the money to a friend or family member's account, with their permission, of course. However, it's important to be cautious with this method and only transfer money to people you trust. Always ensure you have a clear agreement in place regarding the return of the funds. A third, and sometimes overlooked, option is to use a service like a cash deposit at a physical bank branch. Some banks allow you to deposit cash into your Monzo account through their branches. You would then be able to withdraw larger sums from that bank's ATMs or over the counter, subject to their own withdrawal limits. This approach can be particularly useful if you're dealing with a very large amount of cash. However, it's essential to check with the specific bank beforehand to confirm their policies on cash deposits and withdrawals for Monzo account holders. They may have specific requirements or fees associated with this service. Now, let's talk about some practical tips for withdrawing large amounts of cash from your Monzo account. First and foremost, plan ahead. If you know you're going to need a large sum of cash in the future, don't wait until the last minute. Start planning your withdrawal strategy in advance. This will give you time to explore different options and avoid any last-minute stress. Secondly, consider the timing of your withdrawal. If you're withdrawing cash from an ATM, be mindful of the time of day. Withdrawing large amounts late at night might raise security flags, both with Monzo and the ATM provider. It's generally advisable to withdraw cash during daylight hours when it's safer and less likely to attract unwanted attention. Thirdly, be aware of your surroundings when withdrawing cash from an ATM. Choose ATMs in well-lit and busy locations. Avoid using ATMs in isolated or poorly lit areas, especially at night. Be vigilant and keep an eye out for anyone acting suspiciously. If you feel uncomfortable or unsafe, don't proceed with the withdrawal and go to a different ATM. Fourthly, if you're withdrawing a very large amount of cash, consider informing Monzo beforehand. This isn't always necessary, but it can be a good idea, especially if the amount is significantly higher than your usual withdrawals. Letting Monzo know about your planned withdrawal can help prevent any security alerts or blocks on your account. You can contact Monzo customer support through the app or by phone. Fifthly, and perhaps most importantly, keep your cash safe. Once you've withdrawn the cash, take precautions to protect it. Don't carry large amounts of cash openly. Distribute the cash among different pockets or bags. If you're carrying a very large sum, consider using a money belt or other secure carrying method. And, of course, never leave cash unattended in your car or any other public place. Finally, remember that security is paramount. Monzo has security measures in place to protect your funds, but you also have a role to play. Never share your Monzo PIN or other account details with anyone. Be wary of phishing scams and other attempts to trick you into revealing your personal information. If you receive any suspicious messages or emails, contact Monzo customer support immediately. So, to recap, withdrawing large amounts of cash from your Monzo account requires careful planning and consideration. Check your daily withdrawal limit, explore alternative options like bank transfers or cash deposits, and always prioritize security. By following the tips we've discussed in this video, you can ensure a smooth and safe withdrawal process. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.